Dan and Jeff starts now.
Just like an eagle, we're flying into the weekend. I'm Dan Hagan. Today at Up North at 4, census numbers are in. Now comes the hard part of redrawing legislative maps. We'll talk to county officials about that process. Then let's reach into our vault of classic How We Got Here's and revisit the Rhinelander Native American village. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. Let's start with an update from a car chase in Rhinelander yesterday. This was the scene at the River Trail trailhead in Rhinelander last evening around 5 p.m. Earlier, though, a sheriff's officer recognized Christopher Lukachevsky in a car on Lincoln Ave. The officer pulled over Lukachevsky because he knew there was a warrant for his arrest. Lukachevsky then presented the officer with a fake ID. That led to Lukachevsky driving away, and the ensuing car chase ended at the River Trail trailhead, which you can see here. Lukachevsky then tried to run away, but was caught and taken into custody. He is now in Oneida County Jail. Families in the Phillips area combined reading and mini golf today. The library in Phillips created a 9-hole mini golf course at City Hall. Each hole had a different reading theme. For the past 2 days, kids and their parents putted their way through. The library hosted the mini golf event in an effort to bring people together and get kids active. The new Jeopardy host is now the never was Jeopardy host. Mike Richards was tapped to be Alex Trebek's replacement. He was the Guys, this is the wrong video. Not Michael Richards, Mike Richards. Can we get Mike Richards? Okay, there we go. This Mike Richards has stepped down after a journalist uncovered offensive comments from Richards' past. Jeopardy will go back to a rotation of guest hosts for the time being. The National Barefoot Endurance Championships are coming to Crandon this weekend. It's called Footstock. It's on Peshtigo Lake just north of Crandon. Competition begins at 9:30 tomorrow with the senior championship rounds happening at 5 p.m. And there's plenty of silliness as well at Footstock. By the way, this is barefoot water skiing. I don't know if I mentioned that, including a costume competition and a party Saturday night at Charlie's Bar and Grill. Hopefully they get some good weather. What a coincidence. Speaking of weather, Andrew Keegafer joins us now. Andrew, how's the weekend looking?
Dan, it's not looking too bad. We're pretty fine today. We have a couple road bumps to get through before we get to better weather on the way. We do have thunderstorms on the way. Right now, though, in Rhinelander, we're at 83 degrees under more sunshine than clouds. There is a light wind coming out of the southeast, and it's a little bit muggy with those dew points in the 60s. Over in Merrill, similar idea, just a touch cooler at 82 and a few more clouds just off to the south. Now, coming up for your hourly temperatures into the 80s now, getting down to those 70s. We'll most likely land into those upper 60s, low 70s overnight. That will be felt with that mugginess still in the air. We will be having those dew points hanging out in the 60s all night tonight, and they'll be tracking back up to the upper 60s, 70s as we get into very early in the morning tomorrow. So Saturday is going to start off with some oppressive humidity. Now, looking outside right now at satellite and radar over the past couple hours, we have been mostly clear today, a little bit of a cloud and sun mix going on, but we have seen that sun mostly throughout the day. But now I want to steer your attention just off slightly to our west. We do have a cold front that's going to be tracking towards Wisconsin overnight. Right now, we're seeing a line of thunderstorms and showers crossing through into Minnesota. This is where the bulk of the action will be tonight. There will be possible tornadoes just off to our west. As this system tracks towards our area, it will lose intensity and deliver non-severe thunderstorms. So here we go, looking at that thunderstorm outlook. This is going to be for tonight into very early tomorrow morning. Yellow to dark green to light green, showing that decreasing in intensity as those storms move off to the east. So our area, not too bad. We will be dealing with scattered thunderstorms and showers overnight into our Saturday. Low temperatures landing into those upper muggy 60s. So Saturday starting off with those showers and thunderstorms, not going to be severe, not ruining the whole day. In the afternoon, we will be having more sun than clouds. High temperatures topping out near 80 degrees. Now for a look at your 3-day forecast coming on up. Starting off on Sunday with those thunderstorms. Sunday is going to be the nicer of the 2 weekend days. Monday starting off nice as well, though we will be muggy on Monday and keep that humidity into beginning parts of next week. Dan and I will be back for you after the break.
Now's the time to get a Ford built for you, by you. Pick your color, your wheels, and other available features specifically designed for your Ford. Want an F-150 with a 12-inch touchscreen, 400 horsepower in an Explorer, or a moonroof? You've got it. And now an additional $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. See your dealer for a Ford built for you, by you. Build and order your select Ford today and get $1,000 bonus cash in addition to all public offers.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
The new LDF Country Market in Lac du Flambeau offers families the freshest meats, produce, bakery, and groceries. Take a closer look and you'll find a smoke shop, beer cave, deli, and liquor all under one roof, with convenient fueling stations just outside. Add Native American arts and crafts and you'll enjoy a unique, spacious shopping experience found nowhere else. Shop the new LDF Country Market today. Get what you need so you can get back to what you enjoy.
Welcome to Patchouli Garden in Park Falls. We love authentic Indonesian patchouli and we specialize in our original custom blends. Everything with the Patchouli Garden name on it we make right here in our store. Visit Patchouli Garden in the store or online.
When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Why not let us take that crippling burden off your back? Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Kitchen Bath Mart.
We're back on Up North at 4. Andrew, I find myself as someone who laughs easily. I find a lot of things amusing that perhaps other people don't find amusing. Are you a similar way? Do you laugh easily?
I guess it depends on what it is. I think I'm easily humored, yeah.
Okay, going back to another time you're on the show, another political answer from you, just kind of in between, not committing to either side. Is that a fair statement?
Well, it all depends on the situation, so I guess it's hard to commit.
You are running. This guy's running for office someday. He's got talent. Well, I laugh easily, like I said, and I saw a picture of a sign, like a restaurant sign that made me chuckle. So I thought we'd look at that one. And I think this one is one of my favorite ones I've seen. It's a punctuation-based comedy. So it says, go ahead.
Oh, I was just reading. I love eating my family and not using commas. Yeah,
So do you understand if there was a comma there, it'd be I love eating, my family, and not using commas. It'd be a list of 3.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
How many commas would you have in this phrase?
Okay, we are getting into the Oxford comma debate.
That's right.
And we don't have time for that debate. We're going to have to save that for another time because we have more signs to get to, Andrew.
Okay.
Will you forgive me? Okay, here's sign number 2. This is a classic one. It's a nostalgic one. Scream until daddy stops the car. I find this funny because it's just kind of chaos-inducing, and also remember the I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
I think it's great advertising, too. I think if I was the dad and my kids started shouting and hollering, I mean, I couldn't pass up Dairy Queen number 1, so...
And I think if this would make me laugh, I just, want to, get some ice cream. Okay, sign number 3. Let's go sign number 3. Sometimes comedy can be a comedy of errors, right? So I think this used to say unbeatable feast under KFC. I think the B fell off, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't know. Uneatable, that doesn't sound too appealing. I don't know if I want to go to that KFC.
Right, so, all different types of sign humor. I love it. Here's number 4. This one is like you're saying the thing out loud, which you meant to say in quiet. Lenny, you need to come back to work. I mean, that's great, right? I love that. Just like telling the coworker who's not showing up they need to come back on the sign of all things.
Yeah, I wonder where Lenny ended up. Or
and then finally, just some classic church humor. Whoever is praying for snow, please stop. I think that's a Northwood sign. I think we would definitely be seeing this winter. That's all the time we have, Andrew, because I have a couple segments on redistricting, which I find very, very interesting. The census data just got released, so we're going to talk to some Oneida County officials about that. We're going to start our first segment right now. We're back on Up North at 4. I'm here with Tracy Hartman. She's the Oneida County Clerk. Tracy, how are you doing?
Great, thank you.
So what are we looking at behind us? What are these?
So these are the current maps for how the supervisory districts of Oneida County are split up. So they show each of the districts, the wards, and how the boundaries of them, basically.
So that brings us to this year. The census results are in. What has to happen now?
So with the census results in, we just received them this week. Oneida County needs to make sure that our supervisory districts have equal number of residents. And so based on the population and the changes in the population over the last 10 years, we will be looking at how to change the boundary lines so that every voter is equally represented by a supervisor.
So we'll talk with Mike Ron-Portal in just a bit about the math behind that. But tell us about this process. It's a condensed process for you this year. What has to go into making these maps change?
Yeah, so it is condensed. Typically, we would have started this in the spring. We would have started having meetings. With the condensed process, the county board has a redistricting committee. That committee will be meeting in the beginning of September, September 7th. They'll look at a tentative plan that will be created, and then they will move that on to a public hearing that will be held on September 14th. The public will have the opportunity to come in, look at the tentative plan, make any suggestions, bring up any concerns they might have, and then it will be moved on to the county board at the September county board meeting for approval of the tentative plan. It'll then go to the towns. The towns have to look it over, make sure it meets what their needs are within their districts, and then it'll come back to the county in November for a final approval.
Okay, so this is a limited timeline,
yes.
A lot going into that. Important to note, though, that this isn't behind closed doors. People can see
Absolutely.
them on the 14th.
Yes. Yep, people can see it before then. They're welcome to come to the September 7th meeting, but once that tentative plan is approved at the September 7th meeting, it will be in my office. After that meeting or anytime between September 7th and September 14th, they can give me a call and check out that plan.
Okay, Tracy, anything else you want to say about this process?
I think that's it. It should hopefully go smoothly and be done in November for getting ready for elections in 2022.
Okay, thanks so much, Tracy.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back with Mike Ron-Portal to talk more about the maps.
Welcome to today's Elite Money Minute with the Elite Advisor Team.
Victor, it sure was a great idea to come on down here to Antlers and get a little practice in, even though season's a few months away.
You know, I really like coming down and practicing early because then I can make adjustments and corrections before the season starts.
I had no clue that I needed a new string and release. Bill sure knows his stuff. If you want to be on target when that big buck walks by, you've got to be prepared.
You know, that sounds a lot like retirement. The earlier you plan and prepare for retirement, the smaller the correction and adjustment that you have to make versus when you were closer to retirement. So if you want to make sure you're on target with your retirement, give our office a call at 1-800-469-2040 or go to the web at retireidea.com.
That's today's Elite Money Minute. For more information on this topic or other retirement ideas and information, visit our website at retireidea.com.
Beautify your home with barn door updates from Menards. Expect great quality with Colonial Elegance barn doors. Find something unique to your style with our beautiful selection of ready-to-finish and pre-finished barn doors. Add security and style with quick set lock sets, like the Smart Code electronic lever with Smart Key security. Or choose from over 90 quick set lock sets in-store or online. All quick set lock sets and Colonial Elegance barn doors are 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You don't want to miss the Central Wisconsin Military Show, August 20th to 21st at the Motorama Auto Museum. Visit centralwisconsinmilitaryShow.com for more information.
Beautiful Pelican Lake home being sold to the highest bidder regardless of price, Sunday, August 22nd. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Take it away, boys.
With Medford Cooperative, you get reliable propane prices, 24/7 emergency service, digital tank monitors that can schedule automatic delivery, complete tank installation, and more.
We're back on Up North at 4, still here at the Oneida County Carrot House. I'm now with Mike Ron-Portal. He's in the Land and Information Office. Mike, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, Dan.
And happy birthday tomorrow, right?
That's correct.
Okay, happy birthday. We're going to talk about redistricting right now. Tell me about your role in the redistricting process.
Well, as part of the Land Information Office, we assist the North Central Regional Planning Commission in the producing of the maps, printing the maps for the committee. North Central Regional Planning has actually taken the lead in the process, and they use our base map data that we feed them in order to create the maps.
So give me a little bit of the problem solving it takes to redraw these maps. Why can't we just have the same maps again?
The census comes out every 10 years, and as a result of that, there's what they call redistricting. And redistricting is
apportionment of the population, and in Oneida County, the optimum population for county board supervisory districts is to have 1,802 people in a district. So you try to hit that within a 5% deviation one way or the other throughout the county. So what happens here on the maps, the districts, they're made up of census blocks. That's what it starts out with. They're little, either in the city, probably around street blocks, what we think of, but in the rural area, they're made up of topographic areas in which they may be bound by the river, may be bound by a road, that sort of thing. Within those census blocks, then they count the number of people. They feed that all into a database then, and that's where they do the calculations to determine the distribution of the 1,802 people per district and draw the new maps.
So let's say 13 has too many people, this purplish one, 7, has too few people. The idea is you could just move this boundary.
That's
right?
correct. Part of the mapping process and with the database, the boundary will give you a suggested line, which would balance out the population more. And with the use of GIS today, it is much, much simpler to make these changes with the database behind it compared to 40 years ago when I did my first one, and we were handed a colored pencil and a paper map in order to do this, along with the statistics.
Wow, it's come very far since then.
It has.
Last thing here, tell me about wards. What are wards?
A ward map within a municipality, because they have to determine also down at the ward level for the city of Rhinelander and for some of the townships, they may not have all of their people in one voting district for supervisory, so they break it up into what they call wards. And those ward boundaries are created by the towns and the county work together in coming up with the ward boundaries, and that's also population based too that they look at.
Right, so we can see Rhinelander right here, it's right here. These districts will be split into wards.
Wards, right. Yeah, currently I think we have within the city of Rhinelander, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 wards in the city of Rhinelander.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much
All right,
for helping
you're welcome.
me out today.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll be right back.
Is it time to update your driveway? Contact S&B Asphalt to blacktop your driveway. An update not only looks nice, but it saves on maintenance and adds value to your property. Seal coating and blacktopping residential driveways, commercial properties, and private roads. S&B is equipped for the job. With a strong reputation as an honest company with competitive pricing, you don't need to turn anywhere else. Call S&B Asphalt today for a free estimate.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, but you get the gifts. Get a complimentary 4-night hotel stay at over 400 great hotels. Plus an extra 20% off when you spend $3,000 or more. You get more nights and more savings the more you spend. Get a 2-night hotel stay plus an extra 10% off when you spend just $1,000. So go ahead, get that new furniture and the trip.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Buy more, save more, and get the trip. Now at Slumberland.
I think RVA is doing an excellent job of preparing the kids for college. My daughter, who's a junior, is going to start college classes, and she could graduate with almost a full associate's degree.
I think the one thing that people should know about RVA is how well-rounded it is with all the extra things that they can do, not only through school, but through student council and National Honor Society.
The teachers are the best, and the students in RVA are really helpful. I think it's a great program.
I am at 75. We give $85,000. Howdy, folks. Wayne Yoder, the auctioneer, here to tell you about our September 18th classic car auction. No need to transport your classic car across the world to be sold when we can bring the world of buyers to your car and make it a star. Consign your car or entire car collection for top dollar. Go to Yoder's Sold or Yoder's Old. Either one will get you there. Call us today and be in our classic car auction on September the 18th.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. We're outside for our How We Got Here series today, and I'm joined by Carrie Bladorn from the Pioneer Park Historical Complex. Carrie, how are you doing?
Thanks for having me on this wonderful program, Dan.
Of course, Carrie. So we're in Town Line Lake Park, just west of Rhinelander today. So, Carrie, I want you to tell us about the Native American village that used to occupy part of this park.
Yeah, so before I get into the Native American village that was here at Town Line Lake, it was across the lake, not here in the park, but this park has been a part of the Rhinelander community for almost 100 years. It has been the go-to place for Rhinelander community members in decades past to come out and swim, enjoy a picnic, enjoy some nature. And there is an issue with this park right now that the county is considering selling this property. And there's been a lot of people that have come out to speak about saving this park and keeping this as a public property for community members to enjoy into the future. Here at Town Line Lake Park, just within, several hundred yards, is so much wonderful local history. And we talk a lot about the history that's occurred in this area over the course of the last 200 years, but we don't talk as much about pre-Wisconsin history in the Northwoods. And here at Town Line Lake, just across the water here, kind of beside and to the backside of what is now Lee's, Fireside Restaurant, used to be Lee's Fireside, to those watching will recall that, was a Native American village. There was a gentleman in the 1920s and 30s who purchased a piece of property across the lake from the park here, and he opened it up to Native American peoples to come and set up camp, basically. So it was known as the Rhinelander Indian Village. The gentleman's name was Hugo Mumm, and he was a student and advocate of preserving Native American culture and heritage and history. And so he set up a building where they had a little museum and a sales shop where these Native American peoples could come during the summer, set up camp, and sell their traditional wares to at the time, the tourist population that visited the Northwoods. It was in the 20s and the 30s, and there's not a lot of information after the 30s, so we kind of presume that things were wrapping up at the time. Those Native American peoples represented a few different tribes around the Wisconsin area: the Menominee, the Anishinaabe, we know them as the Ojibwa people today, the Ho-Chunk people, and others that came and set up camp here. So it was kind of a conglomeration of those different cultures and that heritage, and it was a really special time because it was the last vestiges of a traditional way of life that had been carried on here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin for thousands of years. And because of government Indian boarding schools and attempts to try to get Native American peoples to assimilate to American culture, it was really devastating to their culture. So to have some of that culture here at Town Line Lake Park, near Rhinelander, visitors to this area could go out and learn about them. It is really important for us to take note of and to recognize.
So why did it end?
I think, I liken it to a lot of farms, homesteading farms in the early days of Wisconsin history. Over time, it was difficult for the children of those farms to want to carry on that farm, and eventually they left the farm. And there's a lot of information in the 1930s and 40s especially, where there was a moving away from carrying on these traditional Native American cultures, and through no fault of their own, really. Nowadays, there is a huge resurgence, particularly with the Native American tribes in Wisconsin, to remember that culture, remember that heritage, to carry it on. For a little while, the Ojibwe language was in dire straits. It was very close to becoming an extinct language, and there are different community members up in the Lac du Flambeau area that are now teaching that language to children, and again, there's just been this wonderful resurgence of Native American culture. And like I said, we talk a lot about the post-Wisconsin history, but there have been peoples that lived in the Northwoods of Wisconsin for almost 9,000 years, and it's important to recognize it.
Well, thank you for bringing that to the attention of the viewers. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Birchfield Nurseries of Rhinelander has been servicing northern Wisconsin since 1950. Birchfield Nurseries grows all of their own plants, and you will always find healthy, hardy, and well-maintained plants. Let their experienced staff answer any of your landscaping questions. They also handle shredded bark mulch, compost, and topsoil. For all your lawn care needs, they carry sod, premium gas seed, and lawn fertilizer. Consider one of the professional landscape crews to do the work for you. If you want experience with quality, call Birchfield Nurseries.
Need a lift? Furniture and Mattress USA and Lazy Boy Comfort Studio of Antigo has your chair. Shop over a dozen different styles, sizes, colors, and features. Quality lift chairs from Lazy Boy and others, all long-lasting, smooth, quiet operation with sizes for everyone and every room. If you like it, buy it and take it with you. It's yours. You can view all new styles on Facebook Marketplace, posted weekly. Visit Furniture and Mattress USA and the Lazy Boy Comfort Studio, Highway 45 North in Antigo, open 7 days.
Sometimes a job is just a job. But sometimes, a job is the spark that ignites a career. Classes and programs at Nicolet can be the fuel to push you further. To earn more and do more. All you need to start is a spark.
Dateline tonight. A new baby, stolen from the arms of her murdered mother.
Why'd you take her away from us?
Heartbroken friends share the devastating story. Dateline tonight, 10/9 Central.
Ever wonder if your life could have been totally different?
Your dad would be proud of you.
It's only natural to wonder, what if?
Ordinary Joe, this fall on NBC.
Renee is not an influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker. Just look at the way she's reshaping and reimagining her 4-acre slice of heaven. It's not hard to tell she's the real deal. Renee runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor because out here, you can't fake a job well done. Nothing runs like a deer.
Stop by Lakeland Lawn and Equipment in Arborvita for special offers taking place for a limited time. Get great deals and service on legendary John Deere equipment.
One last sign for you, Andrew. This is very topical humor. Avoid negative people in 2019. Avoid positive, COVID positive people in 2020.
Definitely
and
avoid
2021 as well. What about avoiding the rain this weekend? When should people be outside?
Well, I think it'll be overnight tonight while most people are asleep that we'll have thunderstorms pass. So that should be pretty easy. The rest of the weekend looking dry and pretty nice, actually. Sunday, though, is going to be the better day.
Okay, we'll see you next week.